This is Quantum Flow Radio, organizing thought particles into a flow of collective consciousness.
Hey, man, what are you doing?
I'm healing myself
Wow.
using vibrations,
Yeah.
meditation.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
healing from within.
Yeah.
The
Well,
source of all things.
since you're doing that, hey, let's talk about healing today.
Healing's good.
Yeah. How to heal.
I'm all about healing.
Right.
Yeah,
Who
I
doesn't
think
like to
there's-
heal?
Right. There's a lot of people that might be interested in this
Heal.
subject. And it has nothing to do with dogs listening to you.
Heal.
Heal. Something that that's been with us from day one.
Right.
Even before we were born, we were healing. We were building. The body was busy being assembled and,
Right.
and created and brought forth into this realm.
Right.
I always laugh because when my kids were born, people would say, we'd like to welcome these new kids into the world. And I used to always say out of the world because we're actually coming out of.
We are. Yeah, we're not coming into anything. We're coming out.
Down
'Cause we grow out.
They frowned at that, but I did it anyway.
Well, the body's ability to self-heal is truly amazing.
Yes.
Think about when you hurt yourself or cut yourself. The healing process. It happens.
Yeah, and I don't do anything about it.
No, it's just done for you.
Yeah.
The magic of the body. The healing powers.
And if we didn't have to deal within the constraints of time,
right?
we would understand that the healing has already taken place.
Correct. But what are the best conditions that healing can occur?
I think you have the answers.
Oh, I don't know. I wish I did. Again, I wish I was that clairvoyant person that could do that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Now, before we talk about healing and define it and get into all its cool aspects, because it really is truly it's just an amazing subject. We don't want to discount this.
Yeah.
Doctors, hospitals, medicine are great.
Yeah.
For trauma, for certain situations. Okay? If you need a doctor or care immediately, absolutely. We're not saying that's not important. And even medication at time is absolutely needed.
Yeah.
But, and I always like saying but.
Yeah,
because
but.
there's always a but.
There's always but. Get off your butt.
But once you've stabilized and you're on that road to recovery, healing, right? Self-healing.
Yep.
And afterwards, this is what we're going to talk. This pathway that many have connected into. And it's almost like a untapped energy source.
Yeah, and we have to be involved in our own healing. So there's only so much that can be done from the outside in. So you break your leg, you go to the hospital and they put a cast on.
And I've done that
and,
too.
Yeah.
Playing soccer.
Yeah, but you still have to be involved in that process.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And the more positive you are about the process of healing, the more rapid that process becomes.
Yeah, if I had only known what I knew today back then.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It would be amazing.
It would be.
Yeah.
And the self-control you'd have. Because, you're kind of lost. And modern medicine, or we should maybe quantify it more like Western medicine, doesn't really tap into the healing aspect of it. It's almost as if, get sick, we'll just fix that problem, but we're never going to really teach you how to teach yourself, how to, maybe avoid.
Yeah, that seems to be the
These
pattern
pitfalls.
in a lot of places these
because
days.
they make more money that way.
Of course.
Yeah, if everybody was happy, healthy, and
I mean, the medical industry, legal industry, the church system, they're all geared to you being dependent upon them.
Man, you opened up a big can of worms right there. I was
Yeah?
going to say whoop ass,
And
but
we're not even fishing.
we're not even fishing. So let's define healing first.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a definition? Or you want me to?
I can give you the etymology, where the word came from, but if you want to give us a
Well, let's
definition.
define it first, and then
Yeah.
we'll do the etymology.
Sure.
Okay. So healing is the practice or process of the restoration of health from an unbalanced, diseased, damaged, or unvitalized organism. Again, very clinical.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go further with that, but why don't you tell me a little bit about what you got.
From the Old English and also from the Old Norse and also Proto-Germanic, all of these seem to point to the same basic, simple origins of this word, and that is to make whole.
Wow.
Or holy.
It's that simple.
How about that? Yeah,
Yeah.
to make whole. Cure, save, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But I see healing and cure as slightly different. We'll go into that later.
And of course, the word heal, like in English, many words have so many different multiple meanings.
Right.
You know, you can use that as a heel of a shoe.
Sure. Sure. You tell your dog to heal.
You tell your dog to heel.
Connected to your shoe, I guess.
Maybe we're supposed to say heal because in saying that to a dog, they're healing and healing.
Yeah, and so are we.
That's true. Yeah.
In the process.
Yeah. Well, your body is truly amazing because the healing possibilities are immense and endless. And you're scratching your head listening, going, what? But hear us out.
Yep.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There is holistic health. Holistic health. Whole.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is where, you connect to your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions. And it's mind-body connection.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's not just all about popping a pill.
Right.
It's how you think, how you approach, and everything. And we're going to go through the full gamut because there's a lot here.
Yeah. There's also, I remember on one of my blog posts, I had to look up some things that I was talking about with healing. And I used the quote that health is wealth. But health
kind of rhyme.
Yeah. Health is not just going to the gym and working out every day and eating right. Health is all encompassing of physical, emotional, spiritual, all of those.
Mental state?
Yes, mental state. All of those combined, you can reach a point of health. If you have, problems in any of those areas, you can't be healthy. 100%.
Yeah. So if we defined holistic health, it is an approach to health that is specifically concerned with the body as a whole, mind, body, soul, as opposed to the traditional health practices, which concentrates more on the illnesses, at hand,
Right.
and specifically the areas of the body that are just, not right. But emotions play into the equation dramatically.
Yes.
And gaining proper balance is ultimately the goal. And then
Wholeness.
and finding really the root cause of the disease, isolating that, and then healing that process from within.
Right. Treating the actual cause rather than the symptoms.
Yeah, and then ultimately removing whatever toxic. It could be thoughts, people, food, environment, who knows, but it could be a host of many characters that are putting you in this disease.
Sure.
And so there's definitely
and
a
even
clear
just
connection.
let me say this real quick. Even
Sure,
if
man.
you are in, really good shape in all those departments, we have, to use the term, energy vampires out there. They're just going to rob you of that goodness.
And there's also vampires that'll rob you of your blood.
Yes, they will. Blah.
Blah.
All right. So now the whole energy vampire thing, it's interesting because
you're right.
there's an electromagnetic energy that extends well beyond us. That's radiating from our heart chakra. And the closer you get to someone, your energies begin to interact and cross with each other.
There's definitely a clear connection between the way your heart and brain feel and think and the way your body feels. Just as you were saying.
Yep.
And we want to avoid those energy vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At all
all
costs.
Yeah.
Again, with the same thought.
Bing,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah. So if I change the signals, if I change my perception, my mind, my belief, specifically about how I feel my life and where my direction I'm going,
Right.
if you change these signals, it changes everything. Imagine the possibilities, and you're literally imagining and then changing.
Yes.
You know yourself, your body better
Imagineering.
than anybody else.
Yep.
So listen to what your body is saying. And
And
not
sometimes
that,
it's not going to scream at you.
no, in fact,
Sometimes it'll be a gentle whisper.
sometimes it's like, help.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean not listen to your doctors, but sometimes we get advice from people or, excuse me, professional medicine pushers.
Yeah.
And they don't know you as well as you know you.
No.
So sometimes they'll say take a medication. You may start taking that, and guess what? You feel worse.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Okay, so
yeah, the greatest
maybe
physician
more recently than you think.
Yeah, very recently.
Yeah.
The greatest physician lies within us, and that's where the information really comes from. But it's not going to yell at you.
No.
Unless it's a bad knee.
Well, unless it's a point where it has to yell at you.
Yeah, and it will.
And then you're headed to
But the early warning signs come as just gentle whispers,
Yeah. But so many people are sick today. It doesn't make sense. Why our beautiful bodies are failing us right now, I don't understand. And
in huge numbers.
Yeah. You gave me a statistic that in, what was it, in 1960, less than 2% of adolescents or juvenile children.
It was a total of 4%. But yeah,
it was it was under 5.
Number.
It was very small. I thought it was 2%, but
we
only had some sort of chronic illness, and that could be defined with the full gamut. But it could be allergies, anything from horrible things like cancer, diabetes, or whatever, to anything. Mm-hmm. And today, as we are literally on the threshold of 2020, it's up around what, 35, 40? You told me a statistic that was even higher than that, but I double checked it, and I'm not sure if it's that high.
Yeah, whatever
but
it is,
it's
just way too high.
It's
unacceptable.
Anything above what we had in 1960s too high with our technology and our modern medicine.
Yep.
I mean, wouldn't you think these numbers would go down?
You would think.
What is causing all this? Is it what we're eating? I mean, who knows? Is it what we're
I think that it's
consuming?
probably a combination of a lot of factors, really. By the way, since we do the etymology thing all the time, we're using the word sick a lot. So this comes from ill, diseased, feeble, weak, corrupt, sad, troubled, deeply affected. So a very
That's
powerful
a mouthful.
And broad range.
You need to wash your mouth out.
I do. I do. But I'm sorry, you did ask me something, and I don't remember what it was. But let's just keep going on this.
Well, I was just gonna reiterate that we only understand literally a fraction of our body, of what our brain is doing and what our brain is fully capable of doing. And imagine accessing the full power of your brain.
Oh, yeah.
And your heart, of course, because and it really may stem from the heart, but our heart tells our brain what to do.
Yeah.
And if our heart is weak
Yeah.
or troubled, our brain reacts.
Absolutely.
So it's all connected, one process. And this is we'll talk a little bit about depression because there's a lot of stems from when you don't feel well. You kind of get, depressed.
Yeah.
You get in a bad mood because you want to feel good and your body's saying, no, I'm not getting out of bed today.
Right. And that information is translated and transferred within the body between the multiple brains. We think of brain and we go, okay, it's that gray matter stuff inside your head. And that's fine. But from a functional standpoint, we have multiple brains, really. We have our solar plexus, we have the heart chakra, the heart center, and we have the brain and the head. We have the reptilian brain, which is the stem, and so many different things that do so many different things.
Yeah.
And it's my understanding
we are
that
complex.
Yes, we are. And it's my understanding that when your body is being formed within the womb, the heart comes first.
Right.
Then comes the brain.
And your body is so complex. Think about one little thing you can put into the body that can change its chemistry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or
so
think
it's a very delicate system.
Yeah.
And if you don't treat it as such,
Yeah.
you see people misusing and abusing their systems.
Yep.
And it's amazing how some of these, living around some of these musicians, I see how they've lived for 30, 40 years. And, they get, they may have trouble, but, they're just plugging along.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just not worried about anything and they just don't let the stress get to them.
I guess.
Or they're just kind of like formaldehyde.
Yeah, and stress is just such, we'll talk about that later,
Yeah.
such an evil
It
presence
is.
to our health.
But I do have a nice little list here of 8 things that can help you heal. And it's a short list. May I
Perfect.
partake?
Hold on, I'm grabbing a pen.
Oh. I haven't seen you with a pen in a long time. I've seen
I
you with
know,
your, okay.
the electronic guy.
So yeah, I'm the pen guy.
Yeah.
So here's a quick list. This is like a list that will assist you, just kind of like a foundation of healing.
Yeah.
How's that sound? Okay.
Perfect.
So number 1, believe. Belief. It sounds. I used to not believe in the belief system.
Yeah.
I used to think that, hey, just things happen. But sometimes our mind, body, and soul definitely connect to the belief system. And this is not like, oh, I'm going to win $1 million. No, this is just.
It's not hope.
It's not hope.
There's a
No,
difference.
and this is more of a knowing, and it's and some of these other topics that we'll hit on this list will reiterate and maybe explain more about the belief system. But the second one,
and belief is
I'm
actually
sorry.
stronger than habit, which is pretty scary.
That's true. Yeah,
Very powerful. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Number 2. I'm sorry.
because your habit may counter what your belief is.
Right. Exactly.
Number 2, sleep. It sounds really simple, but everybody, and everybody. Play on words there. Needs sleep, and a restful sleep is important. We've talked about that before. Okay, when we talked about the dreams, right?
A restorative.
Yeah.
And repairing sleep.
Having a purpose in life, you don't realize, but if you're needed, you have a bigger desire to be here.
And your life is extended greatly by being needed.
You're here for a reason. Figure it out.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yep.
Okay. So, and your purpose in life might not just be helping somebody else. It might be you doing something ultimately.
Sure.
To maybe help a lot of people.
Seek within.
Yes. Optimism. Now, this is a little bit different than belief, but if you approach things with a positive, optimistic, it boosts your immunity.
Yeah.
It does.
Sure it does.
And your immunity system is crucial because this is what's going to fight this disease in your body. Okay.
And you also, to have a support system in place is huge. Because when
Absolutely.
if you're running a marathon.
You need people.
Yeah, if you're running a marathon, for example, and you're down to the wire, you're almost there, and you're just, oh, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to. And some guy runs right up next to you and starts running next to you, going, come on, man, let's go. You got this. You got this.
One more mile.
Right.
Come on.
And
or people on the sidelines going, come on, come on.
Right.
Man, you know what? You don't even know where you get the energy from,
It
but
just
you
comes.
find it. It just comes.
Yep.
And guess what? It's in you.
Yeah.
And that's optimism, baby.
Yeah, you needed a little help accessing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of optimism, I'm sorry, I saw this the other day. I thought it was pretty funny. A comparison of polarity, for example. So, for the one person who invented the airplane,
Okay.
there was also someone who invented parachutes. So you have optimistic and pessimistic.
Sure.
all
Well,
in
you
one
got a
place.
plan.
Yeah.
You got to have a backup plan.
Exactly.
It's always good.
So number 4?
Yeah. Number 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah. 4 was optimism. 5, what you were doing at the beginning of the show, meditation, quiet time. We have to remove ourselves from whatever each day.
Yeah.
I always say you need to take yourself out of this reality
Yeah.
to be in this reality.
Exactly.
So whatever you do, and hopefully more than 5 minutes. Hopefully you can take a half an hour, or if you're really blessed, an hour, or
Yeah.
maybe even more. Or maybe your whole day is full of some kind of meditative process, caring for plants or animals or something like that, where you're really one with everything.
Yeah, and be in that moment. Don't let your mind wander.
Right.
But just be in that moment.
Yeah. Imagining, manifesting. And so what this really means is what do you really want? Imagine your body, how you want to feel. And step back for a second. You can change your body image through your conscious attention. And your conscious attention will definitely take care of you eventually with what you eat and what you put in and how you sleep and how you maneuver. But picture yourself as a healthy, happy individual in your mind, where you want to be and how you want to feel, and then own that.
Yeah.
Just say, tonight I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have that crap that I went through last night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it tonight.
And the magic
One
word
day-
here is feel. You said it.
Yeah.
Feeling. See, we can, if you're talking about law of attraction, all these other things, it's fine to profess something or affirm something or say, I am fine, I am great, I am healthy. You can do all that. But
I am fine.
the minute you feel yourself in that place. Feel the wellness. Feel yourself, at 100%.
Let's pause. None of this is particularly easy.
No.
We're talking like, hey, just imagine yourself, feeling great. But some of this is difficult. It comes with work.
Yeah.
We're just laying it out there.
Yeah, easy words, difficult application.
But if you don't set goals for your mind and your body, you set goals how much money you want to make. You
Sure.
set goals for your material crap that you want to own, right?
Right.
I want that big house.
Yep.
Guess what? You'll get it.
Yep.
You'll have a nervous breakdown getting it.
Yeah.
So why not set goals for your mind, body, and soul?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Connect.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. Okay.
And just know that it's coming. Example, this is kind of a strange example, but it works. It's the first thing that came into my head. Let's say my birthday's coming up, and you say,
Happy birthday.
thank you. And you say, hey, I'm going to take you out to dinner on your birthday. We're going to go have a nice steak or whatever, okay? And I go, that's awesome, But then a day goes by, a week goes by, and I'm like, hey, my birthday's coming up. You still going to take me out? Yes, I said I was going to take you out. You sure? Yes. Okay. And then another week goes by, a month goes by. Hey, you still going to take me? Yes, I said it's there waiting for you. It just has to take place. But it's already done. I'm taking you out for you. See where I'm going with this
Yeah.
thing? We know, science has proven it, ancient wisdom spoke it, that healing, that perfect wholeness is there waiting for us.
Yeah.
It's just the journey of getting there that's difficult at
But
times.
it is a lot better when you do finally go out for your birthday and you do have that birthday celebration.
Yeah, and then you say, wow, it really did happen.
Of course, with you, sorry, the cake melted because all the candles on it just it's like it was a forest fire.
Oh, I know. The fire department was here. They were not happy.
Well, guess what number 7 is as we jaunt
Oh, I don't know. What is number 7?
laugh.
Oh, endorphins.
Laughing. I think the guess who said that? Laughing.
Yes, they did. I think it was 1971, maybe.
Yeah. So laugh if you can.
Burton Cummings,
Yeah.
Great vocal.
Oh.
Randy Bachman. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, you digress. So laugh if you
Laugh.
can. So if you're feeling really low, put on something that makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Or something joyous.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally
Absolutely.
serious.
And if you're watching TV and you put on like something funny, don't listen to the commercials.
yeah,
Well, they're going to bring you down again.
And that's where you have to be careful because so much entertainment and media right now is interrupted with crap,
Yep.
commercials,
Absolute
everything's
crap.
advertising. So find that that happy place, maybe
Yep.
that show that you recorded or something where that's uninterrupted, and you can have. You're literally connecting minute by minute. The more minutes you connect where you put yourself out of that stress state and more into that laughing state, that reverberates through your body, and I believe that's That's
Absolutely.
healing right there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm with you 100%.
And if you're lonely, call somebody up. If you need a support group, that's huge. Just make sure your support group is supportive
right.
as
In the
opposed
right
to
way.
toxic.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No energy
Or
vampires.
tonic versus toxic.
Yes. Good word.
Yes. So last one, number 8, which is our little infinity signal. So we'll end on 8.
Okay.
Power.
Ah,
The power is in you, and don't ever forget it.
yeah.
Don't forget you have it. You're it.
Yeah.
The power is there. Mind over matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you and I, after all these years of studying and researching and, talking and things like that, we understand what mind over matter means now.
Yeah.
When we first heard it, it was like, oh, well, you just tell yourself to do something.
It's not that simple.
No, it's
if
not.
it was, then we'd all be healed
Yeah. Exactly.
today.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we're getting sicker, and we'll discuss maybe what's happening with that. But
Yeah.
before we get into that, I just want to take a moment and highlight what empaths have to go through. And you and
Do
I
we have to?
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe we should skirt over that.
Yeah,
But
no,
just very
let's
quickly.
just
Okay,
do
so
it, yeah.
well, empaths, they take on others' physical and emotional state.
Yeah.
So this is where you have to be careful because you don't want to take too much on.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're perfectly healthy and you'll have a loved one that's ill.
Yeah.
And it affects you almost the same as what they're going through.
Yeah.
A true empath can feel that. And believe me, it seems so real.
Yeah.
And it's you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because that's thin ice, brother.
It's heartbreaking at
Yeah,
times.
yeah. So it's tough to be compassionate, and you can be, but just remember that it's essential you heal and take care of yourself first, because then you wouldn't be able to help anybody else if you're a wreck.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, and it goes back to the energy vampire thing too, because
those damn vampires.
yeah, it's if someone's just, I mean, you and I, we both understand this far too well because we're both empaths, and we can feel before we even get close to someone or some place. I've been in towns or cities where as soon as I enter that geographic region, I can feel
sense
it.
it.
Yeah. And it's a little scary at times.
I am not going to categorize myself as an empath or really anything. I'm done with putting myself in any category.
Okay.
I am what I am, and I feel what I feel.
No labels for
But
you, sir.
no labels at all. But it comes down to I just can only take on so much, and it's the energy in the world right now is very heavy.
Right.
So imagine.
So what we could say then is that we're both empathetic, but
my
we're not
shoulders are only
empaths
so
then.
wide.
Yeah.
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 So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm with you.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad you're with me.
Yes.
I'm glad somebody's with me.
It's awful quiet without somebody there.
So now we can get back to what we put into the body. Is there anything else you want to mention before we segue into maybe talking about food, vitamins, and nature and all stress and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple of things just real quick. When you look at us as people, as human beings, okay, versus the animal kingdom, it's interesting because the animal kingdom has, have you ever done something or hurt yourself or whatever, and somebody said, "Oh man, shake it off," just shake it off, right?
Sure.
Okay, but what does that mean? What it really means is really fascinating, because let's say that a deer is wandering through the woods,
Okay.
and a predator appears. That deer is now going to go into fight or flight mode and just going to run like he's going to get killed, right?
Yeah. Like
Or
what we used to from animals when we were
exactly. So
back in the day.
and here's the thing: when the threat is over, the animal literally shakes it off. Like if a dog's wet, you see that whole shake thing they go through.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to do as human beings. We can't do that shake, right?
I wish we could.
Yeah, but what the animal does is literally shakes it off and then returns back into homeostasis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's exactly what you see animals do.
Yeah, so we have to learn a way to shake it off.
I wonder if animals own the emotion that they just went through, or when they shake it off, it's done, and then they're back to normal. And then if they encounter it again, then response comes back.
Right.
But they don't maybe consciously worry about this all the time.
Right.
It'd be
They
nice
don't-
if they didn't, because humans do.
Yeah, we do. And I think, at least from what we're able to understand of the animal kingdom, once the threat is over, or the perceived threat is over, they're not going to spend the rest of the day going, "Oh my God, what if that happens again?"
Yeah, no, I can't imagine they would.
Which is what we do, which keeps us in fight or flight, which messes up our limbic system, which keeps us in a high stress arena,
Yeah.
which creates disease
Yeah.
and illness.
And the more you're in that disease, the more you'll manifest things that will come with that disease. So we're telling you that list that we just went through, go through it. See what you can improve yourself in doing.
Yeah.
But what else? You got anything else before
I had a quickie quote here. I was looking at quotes.
I like
and things.
quotes.
Yeah, there's a Dr. Gabor Mate from Canada, and he's really a fascinating fellow. And I have this little quote here that I thought was pretty cool. He says, "Emotional stress is a major cause of physical illness, from cancer to autoimmune conditions and many other chronic diseases. The brain and body systems that process emotions are intimately connected with the hormonal apparatus, the nervous system, and in particular, the immune system."
Right.
Okay, so this insight into the relationship of mind and body is the basis for much of his presentation. And he makes a very good point. If we go to a doctor, let's say, I'm not going to clump them all into the same box, but let's say we go to a Western medicine practitioner. First thing they're going to do is check your physical body. You'll get an exam, they'll run the blood test, blah, blah, blah. But they don't ask you what's going on in your head. They don't know the emotional traumas you may have experienced.
Hey, what are you
over
going
time.
through this last week?
Yeah. And those are important factors in what you're suffering from physically, because whatever's going on emotionally is going to manifest into physical dis-ease. And it may be a year later, it may be 20 years later, it may be something you dealt with in your childhood. But it's really critical to treat the whole triune nature of man.
Funny how you have to go to 10 different doctors for 10 different things.
Right.
See? So
Yeah.
this is what you're
Yeah, and the
explaining
fear
here.
of legal malpractice has got to the point now where you'll go see one doctor and then they'll just run all these tests and say, well, I think it's this, but I'm going to send you off to a specialist, So they get rid of you,
Right.
okay, and off
then
you go
send
to
you a
somebody
bill.
else. Right. And then they're going to send you off to somebody else, and then so on and so on and so on. But
It-
nobody really, very few times do you really get an answer as to what's going on at the point of origin.
Nobody wants to own you.
Right.
They want to send you off and become somebody else's problem when they figure
Exactly.
out they can't really do much for you.
Yep,
So that's
exactly.
where you have to own yourself.
Yep.
The cells of our body are intelligent.
Yes.
We don't realize that.
Yep.
Your cells are intelligent. Think about that.
Yeah.
They know what to do.
They absolutely.
They know where they want to go, and they know how to heal.
Yep.
You just have to listen.
Yep.
Listen to your body.
They're running the program, and if the mitochondria within the cell unit, if that gets damaged in any way, then you have real problems. you know?
So that kind of brings us up to food and nutrition as you sip water.
Yes.
Hopefully that's spring water and not the junk purified.
It's actually well
crap
water.
Okay.
I have well water.
Well, I wish you well.
Thank you.
So you are what you eat, right?
How about that?
Yeah, you literally are what you
Not
eat.
just food, but spiritually, emotionally, we're eating all that stuff
Everything you ingest
and
Yeah.
consume.
We eat because not just because we're hungry. Obviously, we need to eat to survive. We need to drink water, but we need nutrition. Our body wants a certain
No empty
balanced
calories.
diet. Yeah. So this singularly is the most important aspect, aside from maybe our mental state. But what you put into your body is crucial.
Yeah.
Is crucial. So think about what you eat on a daily basis. How do you know what you're eating is really ultimately the best thing for you? We all hope we do the right thing.
Sure we do.
And the nice thing is, when the 80s came along, you saw that, basically people were trying to get healthy, yoga and all this stuff came about.
Right.
And they had, low carb diets and this and that, and the Atkins,
and no carbs.
Yeah, and all this stuff or whatever. And then, you had the,
Miami
just
diet.
everything's juicing, man. Remember
Right.
the juice man?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
who knows if any of this works?
Yeah.
But, I've seen people go from this to this to this to this to this. They're just kind of following the sheeple.
Yep.
Sometimes you need to listen.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but maybe you need to connect. And but right now, food, as we speak, is on the rise in price because it's getting more expensive. And you see this, they now have organic foods.
Yeah.
And supposedly, organic food or non-GMOs, right? We know GMOs is genetically
Modified
modified
organism.
organic. Yeah, and this food is prevalent in just about 80% of the shelves in your grocery store.
Yep.
Okay, so the problem is we're almost like a test. The food companies are testing food on us, and we don't know the full repercussions of what we're eating today, what's going to happen to us in the future. But I can tell you, with the rise of so many different things that are coming about, Alzheimer's and diseases and stuff, and especially in later years,
Yeah.
something's going on.
Sure. Diabetes.
Yeah.
Dementia.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
It's-
it's rampant. Cancer.
It goes on, and we're not here to manifest that. We're just merely, The other thing is that there's something called superfoods. We're not going to do any plugs for anybody, but supposedly there's foods out there that can do some beautiful things for you.
Yeah. Kale and, things like that.
And there's compound foods that do multiple good things for you. And sometimes, you can lead a beautiful, perfect life with illness,
Yeah.
even if they classify you as sick or having something. If you're just nutritionally providing for your body, you can keep your blood sugars down,
Right.
right? You can keep your blood pressure at a nice, even rate with not too much salt intake.
Yep.
So just, too much sugar, too much salt. So it's all kind of
The
balancing.
cardiac system, lose some of that caffeine, and these energy drinks. Oh,
you go into every convenience store
They're
and everywhere. They're everywhere. And
it's
that brings
dude,
up.
your heart's going to explode on that crap.
Yeah.
Get
And you
off of it.
see these people. I saw a guy the other day. I was paying for gas, and I saw a guy put a case of beer with one hand and a case of energy drinks with the other. And I'm just going,
my God.
that's, and he wasn't that old, but he was.
Yet.
But he's looking. The other thing to finish up with food and nutrition, we're going to lump water, H2O, into this. Okay. I cannot stress how important it is to get enough water and fluids into your body each day. Listen, I'm guilty just like everybody. I try. We all try.
Yep.
But, we're not preaching. We're just talking.
Giving you some information, man.
Giving you information.
By the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So
yeah. So
keep that in mind.
keep the water by you, clean, unadulterated water, and we're talking spring water, something that's as natural as you can get without any crap in it. No fluoride. You don't need that.
Right.
You just don't need
additives,
that.
No
additives. No fizz. No fancy drinks.
Expiration date, for God's sake.
If it has an expiration date, that's a big signal that maybe you shouldn't. Yeah.
Right.
Because all those energy drinks expire.
Yep.
Because they have crap in it.
Yep.
So enough said about water. But that's most people do know that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just don't do it.
Right.
And I do the same thing. I don't drink enough.
Yeah. Well, you're drinking today. That's good.
I am.
I had a ton before I just came here. So the next thing on this list of maybe things we should be putting into our body are vitamins. Okay. So vitamins can be man-made and but some vitamins, I'll classify them as natural herbs or herbal products. Got to be careful here.
Nutrients, whatever.
Nutrients, yeah. But too many experts tell you, you don't need vitamins. If you eat a balanced meal each day, you don't need any of this.
Yep.
They don't want you to take vitamins. They don't want you to supplement your food intake because it helps you and it makes you healthier.
Right. And why do we supplement? Because there's a deficiency.
Not everybody gets enough potassium each day.
Right.
So are you going to eat 2 bananas each day? No. It gets pretty boring.
Yeah. But is it going to hurt you? No.
No. But so you take some vitamins. Just make sure the vitamins you're taking aren't crap vitamins. And again, you get into, putting stuff into your body. So you just have to be careful.
Sure.
Okay.
And just monitor all that because, a lot of times before some of these supplements even are consumed by the body, they're excreted by the body. So,
But vitamins are underrated.
Check the viscosity level.
But they've been suppressed in the public. So
Absolutely.
So as we move down the list, this is not so much something you put in your body, but this is something you do to your body. And this is all vibrational, and this gets back to what you were doing before.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to give our body energy, right? Without having to pop a pill or drink a stupid energy drink, right?
Right.
So how do we get energy? Well,
we go within.
Yeah, you go within. But to go within, you
have to open the door.
You may open the door to music, song, dance, yoga. So listening to music,
They're all
playing. I always tell people, you're stressed, learn a musical instrument. You won't know stress until you can't play that drum beat. That you can't do.
Right.
Like the John Bonham. What's that? Fool in the
Rain. Yeah.
Fool in the Rain. Yeah, I'm still working on that one.
Yeah,
So
the Purdy Shuffle.
Yeah. So the Purdy Shuffle exactly. Yeah. But learn an instrument, and although you might get some stress where listen, you're not going to be a virtuoso in this life if you're starting at later in life.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're doing it for fun, enjoyment, but mostly for your health.
Right.
For a state of mind. Take yourself out of this moment and put yourself in. And when you were doing the Om at the beginning, there's a lot of music and sound vibrations, specifically at the Hertz 432, which we talked about.
Magic
number. Yeah. You've heard of this guy, Yamamoto? Is that the guy's name?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about this, because this is all about sound vibrations and healing.
Yeah, so Dr. Yamamoto ran some experiments using, first off, I believe it was water or ice crystals, one of the two. I did it on both, ultimately. Separating, let's say, for example, I'll just give you a rundown. Take a glass of water, 2 glasses of water. You put one in one room, by itself. You put another one in another room by itself. And on the first glass, you go in and you just abuse it, right? You curse it out. You tell it how miserable it is, how
It's the hate
worthless it
glass.
is. Yeah, it's the hate glass. And you curse at it and you just really just abuse it. Then you go to the next glass of water and you just show love, compassion,
love you.
understanding. Yeah. And
You're
just
beautiful.
be sweet to it and just send positive vibrations towards that water. And over a short period of time, you can see that the abused glass of water began to turn dark.
Yeah.
And
Sour.
Yes, sour. And basically die.
Yeah.
The
life-
in the process,
the life
that
cells
had
in
taken
it.
out. Yeah. Meanwhile, the other glass that you had loved and showed compassion and understanding to was clear and crisp and still fresh.
Yeah.
See?
Imagine how you treat your plants.
Right.
Do you talk to your plants?
Sure.
When
People talk to their plants all the
Sure.
time.
And the ones that you care for, that you talk to, thrive.
Yep.
So imagine what your words and actions do to people.
Many years ago, I was told about someone who they just didn't have good vibes. Okay. I said, listen, just stay away from them. There's no good vibes there. Okay. And so I really didn't think much about it until I was at a place with them at one time. And they literally, they walked through this house and admired the plants. Yet when they left, the plants began to wither. Their energy was so dark that it began to wither the plants.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is.
So the plants are intimately involved with us.
Yeah.
Not only that, but hey, let's face it. If it wasn't for the trees sending air our way, we wouldn't be around.
Right. So guess what? Nature.
Yes.
Get back to it.
Exactly.
Unplug.
Yep.
Go for a walk. Get reconnected with the trees and the fresh spring brook that's over there in the woods.
Exactly.
Look up in the sky. Enjoy everything that's out there.
And spend that time in the present moment absorbing what nature has to offer. Don't be walking down that path in this beautiful arena of nature, worrying about all that crap on your desk that you got to get back to.
And some of us live in really cold areas, so you don't want to go outside when it's 20 degrees.
Right.
It's tough to get into nature because it's everything's frozen. We understand that. Just do the best you can with what you're dealt.
Yeah.
Okay. You can always go to nature in your mind.
Sure.
Okay.
And,
It may not be exactly the same thing, but the smelling, feeling, the tasting, and everything, embracing, it's refreshing, and that brings us to de-stressing, because stress, as we discussed, is probably almost as bad as the illness that you might take on.
Yeah.
When we're not feeling well, we take on another level of anxiety and stress. So when you're stressed, you need to break free of this vicious cycle. And the way to do that is remove yourself from whatever environment or conflict that you're in and put yourself in a more comfortable state. And this could be as simply as exercising.
Yeah.
It could be, and I always say this, get down on the floor. Get down on it. Get down on the floor. I don't care what age you are or whatever.
Yeah.
Get down on the floor every day.
Yeah.
That will help you with your physical being. But by getting on the floor and getting up off the floor, if you do that every day, you won't have trouble when you fall when you're older. Okay. And then you say, why would I be on the floor? Well, guess what? Play with your dog. Play with your cat. Play with your kids or your grandkids. It doesn't matter. But get on the floor, exercise, do something. But once you're on the floor, you figure out how to get your body back up off the floor.
Yeah.
And this is great. Just this is little teeny little exercise if you can't get to it.
And there's another benefit to that, because many times when you're on the floor, you'll find that cell phone charger that fell under your bed.
Or that big dust bunny that you couldn't get with the vacuum
Right,
cleaner. Yeah.
exactly.
So that brings us to emotions. What you think is how you feel.
Right.
So feel good.
Sure.
Yeah. It's tough to just snap it on, but sometimes we need time, and time does heal things.
It does.
And
It'll leave scars,
It'll leave scars.
but it'll heal.
There's people, the people that really have the hardest time. We're not going to really talk about this too much, but do you know a little bit about the PTSD, the
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of military people are coming back. First of all, we're anti-war.
Right.
Of course, because
Because it's stupid.
because it's stupid, and only
Wait a
certain
minute.
groups make a lot of money off
Who
of it.
decided that, hey, let's go kill people so we can show people that killing people is bad? Right?
It's the ultimate hypocrisy.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the tragic thing here is that our military men and women are coming back home, even maybe just from wherever,
Yeah.
and they're having depression and anxiety. They're coming back, and suicides are just at an all-time high right now.
So sad.
Gosh,
It's just
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But we want to at least mention that, because this is a huge problem. So they come home and they say, "Hey, man, what's next?" So you're paying bills. You lost a whole bunch of friends.
Yeah.
The reality sucks.
Yeah.
Why? What are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Why are we putting our children out there?
We're not, in many cases, I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but we're not defending our country in this process. We're elsewhere.
Yeah. So I guess the point here is you don't have to run a marathon.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like the professional kayak guy. Just do what you can. Maybe a little bit each day, a little bit more. Set goals.
Sure.
Listen, we know life gets in the way.
It does.
And sometimes that's just it. We get in our own way to heal. We are our own worst enemy when it comes to healing ourselves.
Yeah. And
you have to get over it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, many times it ends up being too late when you come to that realization.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I was, I know we're on a,
No, we're not on any time frame.
process
We've got
here.
hours.
I was looking through just, because we thought we might do this show, and I was looking through some of the authors and people that I've read over the years and really admire people. And I just want to mention some names. So Greg Braden, Neville Goddard, Alan Watts.
What about
These
the
are-
Lipton guy?
Yeah, the Lipton guy, Bruce
Lipton.
Yep, Dr. Lipton.
Has great tea too.
Oh yeah. And people like Wayne Dyer.
Right.
These are all people that Ewell S. Anderson, great books like Three Magic Words,
And Quantum Flow Radio.
and Quantum Flow Radio.
Maybe not
absolutely.
quite in that echelon, but
Yeah,
we're
and-
trying to hear
yeah,
it
and
to help.
Dr. Joseph Murphy. I mean, there's so many great tools available to
Teachers.
us out there.
Yeah.
Teachers that have said, listen, I learned this stuff and it was life-changing. So here you go.
Yeah, and
Okay.
there's that movie Heal,
Heal.
which we
Wow.
recommend, and that has
Yeah.
several of those characters
Yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah, Kelly Noonan Gore. Kelly did this film recently. It's got Greg Braden, Marianne Williamson,
Bruce Lipton,
Bruce
too.
Lipton, Deepak Chopra, Michael Beckwith, Joe Dispenza. Love Joe Dispenza.
And also has a lot of personal testimonials from people who were trying to find healing pathways,
Yeah.
and maybe not so much in conjunction with Western medicine. They were kind of taking on some of an Eastern
Yeah.
philosophy of mind over body. And, that's what it comes down to. I like to say mind over medicine. How's that?
Yeah, it's
Mind-
another great. There's actually a book.
Is it?
Mind Over Medicine?
Damn.
Yeah.
I come up with these really great. I seriously, I didn't look. I just said I'm going to write that. It just came to me.
Yeah.
And all these great titles are already books, so I'm going to have to keep figuring out one. But it's a
okay.
wake up call for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So yeah, mind over medicine. The sad thing is that we talked about adolescent chronic disease, but I would say most of the adult population nowadays, I would say easily most people
Yeah.
over 50 years old,
Yeah.
and maybe even younger, are on a medication.
Absolutely.
Some sort of medication, just anything, even whether it's just simple depression medication or aspirin or whatever. But
Yeah.
somebody's taking something each day, and I'm not talking about vitamins or supplements. I'm talking about something that's prescribed, or maybe even something you do get over the counter, but is something of substance that's changing your body chemically.
Yep.
So
It was. I just saw it. Dr. Lissa Rankin wrote the book Mind Over Medicine.
Yeah.
She was a physician, and then just said, "Look, this Western thing isn't working all the way," and so she changed everything and found out the power of mind to heal the body.
yeah.
Which is what we're here talking about.
Exactly.
today.
Yeah. When it really, and when you boil it all down, disease and injury, your body takes a hit. It's
Yeah.
like taking a hit.
Sure.
And what you want to do is you want your immune system to correct this.
Yeah.
And your autonomic nervous system is the greatest pathway to healing all of this for us. We just need to as I said before, get out of its way, because the body does have a natural healing process through these systems that are already here.
Yeah.
They're already in place. You don't even have to go out. And the beautiful thing is, they don't cost you anything.
No.
It's within.
Yeah,
It's a whole lot less expensive.
Yeah, and that's the important element that it's involved in this, is that spending that time within. You said, hey, if we got 15 minutes, that's great. An hour would be amazing, right? So you got to go in and you got to get in contact with the magic that lies within you. In some cases, the high level of that magic is dormant, right? So we have to unlock it. We have to say, hey, it's okay. Your wish is my command, the subconscious mind says. So here we go. Now, there's certain things that the subconscious mind will do on its own through the healing process.
Well, it's doing a million things in your body without you even knowing. And we talked about when you sleep, your whole body's doing a million things.
Right. But
reparations.
But what happens when we're in that meditative mode is we open the channel of communications much better, right? We unblock the chi. We reconnect some of those systems that have been set aside. For example, if you have too much stress in your life, in order to power that part of your body, you're going to have to ignore other parts of the body.
But you're fine-tuning every cell in your body. You have the power to do that.
Yeah, and every 7 years, I think, is the new number. Or is it something?
It's much quicker than I think. Each cell regenerates itself, I think, a year and a half.
Okay, so
you go through about a year and a half or 2 years of your life.
Yeah.
You're literally a whole new you.
Right. Yeah.
So you wonder why you're getting gray hair and stuff. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
but
I think it's like 60 trillion cells or something.
Even
like
if it's 7 years, it doesn't matter. During an average person's lifetime, you've renewed yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And unless there's something blocking that. And see, that's critical that we remove the blockages.
And this is a question we ask. What is holding us from that?
Yep. Exactly.
What's keeping us back? What do you think?
I think that there's probably it's a multifaceted answer.
Yeah.
One of them goes back to your list there of belief.
Yeah.
Okay. No matter how hard you try, you think, okay, well, I can cure myself of this, I can cure myself of that. But if there's that doubt looming, saying, I don't know about this, well, then you're dirtying the water.
Well, I was thinking more in the terms of kind of conspiratorial type of things. Is what we're eating really good for us? It may not be. Okay.
Yeah.
Are vaccinations really doing what they're supposed to be doing, or are they ultimately causing all this disease in us? And I listen, I'm not going to go off, but a lot of people say that we need it and it's proven science and all this, but I have a gut feeling, and I just think that we've introduced things, when you give a baby that's a day or two old 25 shots, do you really think that this is necessary?
Yeah.
Come on.
I know. And
wake up.
When we were youngins, I think we got 5 or 6.
Yeah, and luckily.
Yeah.
But nowadays.
But that was serious crap, like polio and, these horrible
And they
things.
find out the polio shot gave a lot of people cancer.
How about that?
Crap.
Yeah. So you're looking at, you have mercury, you have many different elements in there. Yeah, we don't want to go there right now.
No, well, we don't have to talk about the contents of what's in it. We're just merely we're asking a question.
Yeah.
Are all these vaccinations required to make us healthy, or are they really not helping us? So we're just going to put it out there.
Right.
I mean,
everybody's got to make their own decision.
A lot of people might be rolling their eyes and going, "Oh, I was believing these guys until they got to there, but I believe in, you believe what you want to put in your body. That's fine. If you want to get the flu shot, fine.
Yeah.
If you think the flu shot's going to help you, even though you're going to probably get more sick from the shot than the flu, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we move on and kind of wrap up a little bit, what do you got? Anything beyond what we've talked about?
The most important thing to me is, I'll go back to the whole belief thing. Okay. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, people believe what they read because they read what they believe. And that's dangerous. And my whole thing here is, listen, folks, open up to another viewpoint. Open up to another way of thinking. At least be open to it.
Are you listening to your own words?
I am.
Okay, good.
And so, but I'm also making notes. So when
Talented.
When you get to a point where something just, it's really not vibing with you. It might not be that it's not true. It might just be that it's going against what you already believe. It might be a bit of cognitive dissonance mixed in there, okay?
Yeah.
But it's really critical, especially when you're dealing with your life or your child's life or your spouse's wife or life. I mean, you just have to expand your knowledge a little bit more and say, okay, if the doctor said this, well, let me go see another doctor.
Yeah.
And if if that other doctor said the same thing, well, let me go see another one.
One of the worst things, sorry to cut you
no,
off, but one of the worst things you
please
can
do, because I'll just keep going.
Well, no, but I don't know. One of the worst things I think you can do is if you have like, your stomach has been growling or something's going on in your body, or you hear of a friend going through something, and then you go to the internet.
Yeah, Dr. Google.
And you look it up. And of course, Google, with all its manipulated, coded algorithms, only gives you what they want to tell you. And they're going to tell you that you're sick.
Die.
Yeah,
right, you're going to die.
Hey, just check out now, because it's not. So then we take on that belief.
Yeah.
Whose belief is that?
Yeah.
It's somebody else's belief, and you've taken that on. So be careful.
Yeah.
If you read you may go to the internet and you may confirm something, and it may really help you.
Yeah.
You got to go to the doctor, and guess what? You might have just saved a life.
Sure.
In the same token, you might have manifested something that wasn't even really there. So it's, I'm not telling you not to research, but sometimes people that over research, or they jump to certain conclusions, or maybe the first thing they see.
Yeah.
Take it slow, take it easy,
and be informed.
And be informed. And then sometimes the best things you can really help yourself with is the accountability of maybe other people that have gone through this.
Yeah.
And sometimes those testimonials are the strongest things.
Powerful.
They give you hope. They give you the strength, what we were talking about, and the belief that, yes, okay, listen, this is not good, but guess what? We're going to reset to a new normal, and we can get back to normal.
Yeah.
I might live with this disease for the rest of my life, but I am living with it and not dying.
Right.
And I'm overcoming.
Yeah.
And I have the power within me, and the strength and the love around me. And guess what? It's, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yeah.
If you want to be fine, you're fine.
Right. If you think you're sick, you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't think you're sick, you're not.
And a lot of people might tell you you're sick.
Yeah. And also just be really careful what you do accept. Like you just said, I'll just expand on that just a little bit more. Let's say Bob goes to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Bob's doing fine. He works out every day. He plays golf. He's got a great job, 2 kids and a wife.
Appearance is one thing.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he actually feels really good. So he just goes in for a, annual checkup, right? They come back and tell him that the blood work came in and that he has
stage 3 or 4 cancer.
Stage 3 or 4 cancer. And he's
Sorry,
got,
Bob.
Yeah, he's got 6 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine what that does to you
Right.
and your emotions.
Right.
You just killed that person.
Yeah, you did, because now not only did you give them this horrible news, but now if they eat it, if they consume it, if they believe it,
Right.
he's dead in 6 months.
And I have a lot of examples of that, but there was an attorney that got bad news, and he wasn't that bad off, but he took it on, and he did not fare well.
Right.
And you could see it on his body and on his body language and stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel so sorry. Listen, it's tough.
It is.
Yeah.
But the reality is that it's possible
I believe that the way they
to
deliver
extend our lives.
Sure, but I also believe that the way they deliver the
horrible.
bedside mannerisms of Western medicine, especially in hospitals, is horrid.
Yep.
You are a number.
Yep.
And they really don't care about you. They'll send you the bill and the invoice as quick as your head gets out of there.
Yeah.
There's
Bedside
just-
manners are critical.
They are.
A friend of mine.
And delivering news to people.
Right.
How hey, listen, if you give a child some news, hey, you've got this illness, there's a proper way that you can do it. If I'm talking about just the approach,
Right. The intent.
That's like
the
a whole nother
encouragement.
show.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, if you're a physician, you have to encourage your patient through any diagnosis.
to their defense, though, they become desensitized.
Anesthetized.
Yeah, I mean, it's their job's not easy. I mean, imagine being around all these sick people.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it,
I
and
know.
that's why I quit medical school after 2 years.
Yeah, it's
I was
rough.
done with it. Ugh. Yeah, so I got into another horrible career.
It's okay. You learned in the process.
No. It was a good career.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So,
back to health and healing. One thing that we didn't touch on just real quick is people like Anthony William, the medical medium. So many people are so connected to other people through consciousness, through energy, through what's going. They can literally sense what the problem is that's taking place within you and tell you what it is and then tell you how you can fix it.
Right.
And without even taking one pill. It's fascinating. And there are people like that in the world
They are.
that have that gift. And I think that gift has actually been brought out and it lays dormant in many of us.
but we don't want to present it as being like a circus show or a side act where
Right.
it's just willy-nilly. I mean, maybe some people really do have this ability to look inside and sense what's wrong with the individual. Some of us can look at just people and say, well, you're not right.
Yeah.
But maybe these people have special talents. That's where I'm drawing the line. Some people say that I've had healing ability and I've done this and this and this, me personally.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to own any of that because then once I admit that I am something special,
Yeah.
then I put myself above anyone else. I really believe everybody has this ability, and I'm no different, and they're no different than me or anybody else. How's that?
Exactly. And it's perfect. And I want to mention a couple of things just if
Oh, we're
case-
not done yet. I got
No.
one more thing.
Well, just on this particular subject, if anybody's taking notes here, a couple of documentaries I suggest
Sure.
that you see. One is Heal. We've talked about
Yeah.
that. Kelly Noonan Gore did that. The Living Matrix, The New Science of Healing, featuring Bruce Lipton, Harry Massey, all these people, and also The Happiness Matrix, which is Creativity and Personal Mastery by
haven't
Sri
seen that
Kumar
one.
Rao, and really, really awesome information. And books by Paramahansa Yogananda. I mean, there's so many different things that are out there available to us for very little money and many times free. So just do some research and understand that what we're talking about on this show right now is not trying to tell you what to do. We're just telling you that you can do. See, so you have that power within you to at least begin the process of healing.
Right. And by the way, just recently they've cured 2 patients of HIV.
That's
And
fantastic.
autoimmune, and they say they're cured. Who knows if this is true? But if it is, that means any autoimmune disease that you have,
Yeah.
I believe, can be
And
cured.
this was stem cell, right?
There's cures and for everything out there.
Yep. And still
one-
we have,
and
35 million people.
When the
that are-
floodgate opens,
Yeah.
a lot of people are going to be very happy.
Yeah.
But they don't want us all to live. That's the problem. They
Right.
don't. They really don't want cures out there. But with truth and the truth movement,
Yeah.
we're gonna insist. The first thing that we must ask of our society
Yeah.
is to release everything that can make us better. All these cures and this gets back to just everything. You know.
Yeah.
Give us the free electricity that they know they can make. Make
Right.
our life easier for once instead
Right.
of lumping on another bill or problem to our complicated lives already.
Right.
So I'm ready to kind of wrap up here, and I have a little bit that I want to go through, and I think this will be helpful.
Okay. Hold on.
So I just want you to
let
sit
me
back.
get ready for this.
Yeah. I want you to sit back and close your eyes. You
Okay,
ready?
hang on.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
All right. I'm all set. Go.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Picture yourself healing and getting better. Okay? Picture yourself. What do you want to be? Where do you want to be? How do you want to be? Okay? You're better all of a sudden. You want to paint this picture as vividly in your mind as you can.
Textures.
And then and return that. And return to that each day, one day at a time, but each day, every day. And then keep adding to that image. Close your eyes. Keep adding to that image yourself living a life that waits for you when you finally heal. You're healed. See yourself healing. You're healed. You're better. You're fine. This process can help you heal in a more effective way. And as you progress and as you work subconsciously, everything will be created and creating ways to make the image come true. And you're there. And you can live and be fine. So most important is manifest this picture. Everything that you see and really, really want with your body, with your mind, with your soul, and most importantly with your heart. And know that everything is going to be okay because you deserve to be happy and healthy in this life. It's purely up to you. God bless you all. And I just wanted to send that off to you guys. So.
And so it is. Thank you, my friend.
Let's hope if we helped even one person, even a half a person, we're successful.
Absolutely.
And that's about how many viewers we have right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep, it's all good because this is going to be floating around on the net for quite a long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
Longer than we're around here.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that if, like you said, one person's affected in a positive way with this, then we did good.
And the last thing is hug.
Yeah.
Hugs.
17 seconds.
Hugs are 17 seconds.
17 seconds. That's the magic.
Q.
Yeah, the magic time for the hug.
You know, the letter Q is number 17.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
See?
Wow.
So, but hugging has its vibrational energy, and so hug because that's all there is.
Yeah.
And here's a big hug out to everybody listening, to you, my family, and everybody else.
Exactly.
Okay.
XOXO, baby.
Hey, baby.
Have a good day.
You too. Take care, man.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Quantum Flow Radio. Email us online at quantumflowradio@gmail.com.